A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a shocking turn of events, violent clashes erupted in Athens during a protest marking the second anniversary of Greece's worst-ever train accident, which resulted in the tragic loss of 57 lives. The protests, which began peacefully, escalated as scores of young demonstrators engaged in throwing rocks and gasoline bombs at law enforcement officials in front of the Parliament building. The unrest was fueled by widespread anger over the government's handling of the aftermath of the deadly crash that occurred 2 years ago in northern Greece. The incident, which saw a passenger train collide head-on with an oncoming freight train, has raised serious questions about the safety and maintenance of the country's railway infrastructure. As the sun set over Athens, a sea of protesters gathered, chanting slogans and demanding accountability from their government. Many carried banners that read "Murderers" in reference to what they perceive as state negligence leading to the disaster. After hours of peaceful demonstrations, a faction of the crowd turned confrontational, smashing stones with hammers and using the debris to create makeshift firebombs. Riot police responded with tear gas to disperse the increasingly violent crowd, igniting a chaotic scene reminiscent of protests from a decade ago during Greece's financial crisis. Eyewitnesses described the atmosphere as tense and charged, with both sides escalating the conflict. The protest was one of the largest seen in Greece in years, with hundreds of thousands participating across various cities, including Thessaloniki, where similar clashes occurred. Protesters released black balloons into the sky in memory of the victims, while others expressed their frustration at the lack of accountability from government officials. Critics have been vocal about their discontent, demanding that politicians be held responsible for the failures that led to the crash. So far, only rail officials have faced charges, leaving many feeling that justice has not been served. One protester, Christos Maine, a 57-year-old musician, stated, "The government hasn't done anything to get justice. This wasn't an accident, it was murder." His sentiments echoed through the crowd, amplifying the call for action against those in power. The 2023 train disaster in Tempe, which claimed the lives of mostly young passengers, has left a scar on the nation. The train was traveling along Greece's busiest route, connecting the capital Athens with Thessaloniki, when the collision occurred just before the Vale of Tempe, a gorge separating Thessaly and Macedonia. This tragedy has exposed significant deficiencies in the country's transportation infrastructure, raising alarms about the safety of rail services, which have been criticized for poor maintenance despite recent upgrades. As the protests continued, public services and many private businesses came to a standstill, illustrating the widespread discontent among the populace. Protesters chanted for justice, demanding that the government take responsibility and implement necessary safety measures to prevent future tragedies. The unrest has sparked a national conversation about the state of Greece's rail system, with rail unions emphasizing the need for better maintenance and oversight. The government, however, has denied any wrongdoing and has maintained that they have acted appropriately in the aftermath of the disaster. This stance has only fueled further resentment among the public, who feel that their grievances have been ignored. Opinion polls indicate that a significant majority of Greeks believe that officials have attempted to cover up evidence related to the crash, leading to an erosion of trust in the government. As the night wore on, the situation in Athens remained volatile, with more than 80 people reportedly detained and several injuries reported among both protesters and police. The protests are expected to continue as the investigation into the train crash remains ongoing. The call for justice and accountability resonates strongly among the citizens, who are determined to ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. The events of this day will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact on Greece, as the nation grapples with the memory of loss, the demand for justice, and the hope for a safer future. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.